Yes, everybody in position. We even had the cheek to ask the umpires whether they had the umpire's ball when we were coming across the ground, because we seem to be so far ahead of all other games. But we're underway in the third quarter in our match of the day with scores level at half-time. The ball goes in the air, and Scott again. First tap down to Potter. He's immediately tackled. He does get rid of it, gets the ball to the foot, inside 50, but good defensive work there by Cornish. And Werribee, they're showing a bit more urgency. I see a Werribee player on the ground. You've got to keep an eye on him, guys. And the ball in the middle is Scott, takes the mark. Out wide to Hayes. Handball quickly to Laurie, who's been prepared to run. And the ball quickly inside the forward 50 for Corio. Bowman does well to tap the ball down. Gun was... Bigham David had the football, but had taken off him. Handball to Beck. He tries to draw a player, gets the handball over to Cornish. Now he's got Jewel. I don't know
found him.
Whether that kick did find his teammate. I've lost sight of it temporarily. So
Cornish.
Now we've got a whistle on play. What's happening?
Yeah, the
stretcher, I think.
Stretcher coming on. It's John's in the middle. I reckon it's a knee.
Okay, so just coming back from injury, and gee, that's a terrible thing for the Werribee Central side. Well, it's interesting, Laurie, isn't it? Last week, every indication Thompson might have lost Dan O'Connor for the rest of the season. Justin Johns is probably a player. He's the running type player that Werribee Centrals desperately need.
Yeah, so I think it's something rather serious, I think.
Yeah, so certainly a hold up in hold up in play here, and you know, it could be a lengthy hold up whilst player is removed from the ground. And the worst scenario here, I suppose, to come off the ground, he's got to come to this side of the ground through the interchange.
Unless he can go...
or can he go straight to the room?
Yeah, he'd go straight to the room. He won't come back, so he's allowed to go off at the nearest point of to get him to the change room, I believe. So.
Yes, I think once they go off in the stretcher, they're real problems. So Cal heading out to find out what's transpiring. And interesting, Laurie, Corio, the tactic they adopted a couple of weeks ago, didn't go off the ground at half time. They stayed in the shade, out in the fresh air.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful day to be outside. There's no doubt about that. I think Daryl forms the opinion that when you're going okay, it's what's the point of going in the shed? You've got your mind on the job out here, and it worked the other day for him fairly well. And
just need to point out, Laurie, to anybody associated with Justin Johns from Werribee, if they are listening, he's quite okay. He's awake and nothing. It's just that he's obviously suffered a leg injury, which has required going off the ground on a stretcher. So we're back underway as the ball comes towards centre wing. Oh, Jed Potter up high over the pack in front of our broadcast position and takes a brilliant mark. Chips it inboard to Kane Hayes, and those two again. Hayes now over to the lead there of Gundry, and again in front of his opponent, and Troy Gundry takes the mark in front of his face, so just outside 50, looking to give the ball off. He knows he can't kick the distance, decided to go long to the full forward position. Barry O'Toole had two to beat, a circus. He can't pick the footy up. It's handballed out to Mick Kennedy, over the top to Chug, over the top to Clayton, back to Chug, and Dave Kennedy. Well, the handball is far too solid, picked up by Bennett, over to Lewis. Now on the turnover, it's on to Hayes, inside 50, goes forward. The lead out there is from Bowman, and he's gone very, very deep to the pocket. Will he come back inboard? He does. Who's he looking for? He's kicked it straight to Mick Kennedy, and that's a terrible kick from Bowman. He'd have been better off to have a shot for goal, surely. Now he's done just as bad because he's kicked it straight to Ricky Bingham. Gee, there's some mistakes in the first couple of minutes here in this third quarter as Ricky Bingham now takes the mark. He's found Michael Bowman on his own again. And
that's poor defence there.
It is poor defence. This time he's 15 metres from the goal, a fairly acute angle. And surely, Laurie, if you're playing full forward, you've got to have a ping at goals from these shots. No good trying to give it off.
He likes to give it off, but I think he'll have a go here.
Michael Bowman now, having the shot for goal. Runs in. It's a...
got a bit of a swing on it, but I think it's home.
What's it? No, he's missed to the left-hand side. So a bad miss. It is the first score of the third quarter, and it gives Corio the lead. 9-5-59. They lead Werribee Central's 8-10-58. Raiders bingo, third quarter scoreboard. 5 minutes gone. Kel, you've got half-time scores?
Half-time scores, Eric. Inverleigh 11-7 lead Belmont Lions 6-3. East Geelong 5-2 trail Bell Post Hill 15-6. North Geelong 13-10 lead Geelong West 7-4. Bannockburn 8-7 lead Anarchy 3-6. And Thompson with an 8-goal second quarter. 10-8 now lead Winchelsea 6-9.
So see the ball just returning from over the fence. As it's interesting. It gives them the lead, Laurie, and you know, what sort of influence will that will Justin Johns going off on a stretcher have for Werribee?
Well, it could have a big bearing because he, as you said, look at that. He's got a bit of pace.
Kennedy brings the ball back and goes short to Dean. It's a poor kick, but able to get it back to Kennedy, who decides that a handball's probably through to the points. Is probably his best option. So it's a rush behind to the Corio side. They're now 9-6. They lead.
It's a free kick here.
Somebody here, there's something being said and a free kick's been awarded. And it's going to be a free kick to David Bingham, and I didn't see that because I was putting the score on the pad, but obviously push over or something. And David Bingham is now only 3 metres out. Bit of an angle, but a chance to score a goal for Corio. And that's good enough, he says. He's got the goal. And Corio now moved to 10 goals 6. Werribee 8 goals 10, and we've gone just over 6 minutes into the third quarter Raiders bingo scoreboard. So I didn't see that. Laurie, did you? Or?
No, I didn't see it myself, but I think you might have been right. I think it might have been just some pushing frustration and gone to the deck, and the umpire's seen it and paid the free kick, and it's not what Werribee want.
The funny part, I don't know how good your memory is, Laurie. Dave Kennedy, did he come to grief in a game in a final against Corio at St Albans?
I think your memory might be good, Eric. I think I've got a feeling something like that did happen.
So maybe they've got him in again.
Well, Corio again take the advantage early in the third quarter. Back in the centre, Scott and Clayton. Clayton probably gets a push down, but cleaned up by Barry O'Toole. Goes forward by foot. Running onto the ball is Potter. Tackle from behind by Festuca. Good tackle, but the handball is not good enough, says the umpire, with a throw. And Jason Festuca, in a good solid chase, wins a free kick just inside the Corio attacking 50. Jason Festuca, ball in hand, looking for the options to come to him or around him. Now he's going to go to the centre, towards the centre of the ground, and in front here is Lewis, but can't take the mark. Picked up by Clayton, goes by hand, can't find anybody, and Troy Gundry comes across, picks up the ball, and he goes by hand to Harrison. Harrison comes across the ground, directly across. Matty Cullen in possession, takes a good strong mark under pressure, goes onto his left foot. Laurie's pushed forward, he's found space by himself, crosses over 50, goes at goal. It's heading towards goal in the goal square.
Bowman.
David Bingham has missed it, or Bowman's
kicked it.
Bowman's kicked the goal off the ground. Hit David Bingham in the stomach and fell out, but Michael Bowman in the right spot at the right time, and Corio again push their scoreboard along to 11 goals 6. They lead Werribee 8 goals 10. Probably a danger period now for the Werribee side over the next 3 or 4 minutes. So we've gone 8 minutes. Third quarter Raiders bingo scoreboard.
Well, I reckon they're in disarray, to be quite honest with you, Dale, because their defence has fallen apart. They don't seem to just know exactly what they're doing up there. They're not purposeful in what they're doing. They're second guessing, and you can't play like that in the back half.
I'm looking for Chris Gillam.
Yeah, he's gone back onto on Bingham, back deep in the fight. I'd still like him out across half back, but we're back in the centre of the ground, and Scott and Clayton. Clayton wins possession. Jewell knocks the ball forward. Norton coming off the half forward line takes possession. His handball's poor, but it's cleaned up by Jewell again running forward. Antonello's got a bit of a shove in the back, but it's allowed to go on. Over the top we have Mabry running onto the ball, but leading him to the ball was Nevada Cornwall. Goes wide and too wide, and it's out of bounds on the full just outside the half forward line. The Werribee side in attack. Antonello with the resulting free kick. Tries to go around the man on the mark, which is Hayes, I think. Does with the right foot. Goes towards goal square, but 4 Corio players there. And Barry O'Toole takes a mark. Switches play. Comes to the broadcast side of the ground. Jed Potter. Potter standing there. I think he's been asked to play on now. He's taken a few steps wide. Goes short. Kicks the ball. Cullen takes the mark. We only gained 3 or 4 metres, but Corio still in possession. This is what they do. They've gone wide again this time. Hayes punches the ball forward. Scott works hard on the ground, kicks the ball off the ground. Gundry and Johns in possession, but coming towards the ball the other way is Chris Gillam. He picks the ball up, but drops the ball. Scott does well. Kicks left foot, finds Harrison.
Yes.
He's 25 metres out, nearly directly in front. Scott just under pressure. Oh, Harrison's going to look to fast off. I think he's in range. He's been called to play on now. Goes to the pocket and finds Bingham, who plays on, chips over the top, and another goal to the Corio side. David Bingham kicks Corio's 12th goal for the afternoon. They go to 12 goals 6. They lead Werribee 8 goals 10. Nearly 10 minutes gone. Raiders bingo third quarter scoreboard.
And there's 3 important goals in the game for David Bingham, Laurie. He's becoming quite a force up in that forward half.
He certainly is, Eric, but I'll tell you something, I could duck out there and kick a couple of goals away. The fences of Werribee at the moment, they're not just picking up anyway. Even Chris Gillum was in 2 mods when he went after that footy.
Yeah, I just think Chris is playing himself well at a position. He's got to be up at centre half back, and whoever's playing there, he just stays there and just controls that area.
Has he got a slight injury, maybe?
I reckon where we need to get back to basics, pick their best side rather than chop and change as the ball goes in the air again. Scott again, the tap down. This time it's well read by Camilleri it was for Werribee Centrals, but his kick is not to advantage. It's out of bounds in front of our broadcast position on centre wing on the western side here of Shell Oval. All the running with Corio. We're 11 minutes on the clock, probably 2 or 3 minutes off for the stretcher on the ground. But all the running with Corio, they're 78 to 58. In fact, Werribee Central's yet to score in this third quarter as the ball's thrown in once again. Scott tapped down, pushed forward by Cullen, comes in to get the footy once again, throws himself on the top of the football. Umpire says, not coming out. I'll take it, and still in front of our broadcast position, the umpire will put the ball in the air. Scott and Clayton to do battle once again. This time Scott gets the tap forward. Cunningham does well to run onto the footy. Handball to the running player in Welsh. And they're the sort of goals that Werribee Centrals need to get. Matt Welsh running goalwards. He's put it right through the middle. So a very important first goal in this third quarter for Werribee goes to Matt Welsh. 9 goals, 10, 64 Werribee Centrals. They trail Corio 12-6-78. Raiders bingo third quarter scoreboard, 12 minutes gone.
Well, that was a nice goal, but it's a long time since they had numbers around the footy, and they had the numbers around the footy. They had 3 guys there, and Cunningham it was that got the handball out, and Walsh had to kick that goal, and certainly did. That was a great kick on goal.
The only thing I'd perhaps be critical of Corio, Laurie, from a boundary throw in that area, surely you'd have someone at the back of the pack. They didn't.
They didn't, no. I think they were sweating on Gene Scott to get the footy out there, and it didn't quite happen there.
Probably true.
Ball back in the centre. Clayton and Scott to go at it again. Umpire throws the ball in the air. Scott with a long tap over the top doesn't find a Corio teammate, but it's cleaned up this time by Jewell, who misses the ball. Goes to Kane Hayes, who overruns it. Now it's with Thwaites at centre half forward. Strong tackle by Lewis again.
Oh, what a terrific tackle on the
Brad
big
Lewis.
fella.
I think that's twice he tackled Thwaites. He must like the shape and the size of his body, but it's a good kick forward. Quickly into the forward line. This time Bingham handballs to Bingham onto the left foot, and it's going towards goal and towards a forward pocket, but it's going to go out of bounds. Right beside the point post, deep into attack. Corio again, pushing forward hard.
They look dangerous when they go forward, don't they?
They do. As I said, the Potters and Kane Hayes have performed fairly well in the first half. There's the Bingham boys to stand up. Barry O'Toole to hit more with the footy, and they're a real chance in this game. Ball comes down to the front of pack, and Davey Bingham again, I think, around the corner.
Yes. He's kicked it.
Davey Bingham has his 4th goal for the afternoon. And Corio's 13th. They move to 13 goals 6. They lead Werribee 9 goals 10. 13 and a half minutes gone. Third quarter, Raiders bingo scoreboard.
And that's 2 goals for the quarter to David Bingham.
Well, I think the only hope they've got is if Gene Scott can get tied there. He's got a big motor. He's still playing well in the middle of the ground there. But when the ball comes from out of the pack, they run hard onto it. The speed's explosive, and they're making things happen for themselves. And if you get in the hot spot where it was just then, and you're prepared to put your body in, you're going to probably get results. And that was a great goal. I think Davey could have kicked it, but I think 3 other blokes could have as well.
Well, Chris Gillen's been listening to you guys because he's now in the centre for this ball up, and I think it's imperative that he gets back on the ball.
Antonella's gone back.
So, dangerous moves. Ball Scott again, tap down. This time for Stuka, read it well, took it off Potter, has a bounce. He's pursued by Hayes. He gets away from him. Finally has to handball. Over to Chug. Over to Welsh. Back to Chug. Chug the little chip forward. There's Norton. Oh, he paid the mark. And Chris Gillen accepts a handball and runs into the open goal. So the coach, he's put himself on the ball, got immediate results with a goal. And much needed goal for Werribee Centrals. Gillam's first, the 10th for Werribee Centrals. 10-10-70. They trail Corio 13-6-84. Raiders bingo third quarter scoreboard. 15 minutes gone.
We'll just have a look at Jason Festuca limping in the middle of the ground. They can do without that, and he's the player that's given them a bit of a spark there. 18 kicks for Festuca, so they can ill afford to have him injured.
With Shannon off the ground, and I'd
John's
suggest
not there.
won't come back. Johns won't come back. They can ill afford to have a Jason Festuca down.
But that was a good goal for Werribee there. They did, as I said, had the numbers around the footy again, and if they're prepared to run and not be lazy, well, they can get back in the game.
So in the middle again, umpire puts it up this time. Clayton tapped down to Festuca. He can't get away. Gillam's in there. Scott does well. His handball comes out to Hayes. He attacks the footy, picks it up. He's tackled by Gillam, eludes the first tackle, drops the footy. Picked up there by Festuca, the loose ball. He's run a long, long way, and he does touch the ball to ground and finds a teammate fairly deep on the half-forward flank.
Mabry, is it?
It is Mabry, and maybe
left footer.
He's on the wrong side for a left footer, but the man on the mark's just inside the 50-metre arc. Will take a very good kick, and Jason Festuca still not...
a bit proppy, isn't he?
Yes, he's not moving very comfortably, but let's watch Brad Mabry. He's the man of the moment, man on the mark just inside 50, and a goal here, extremely important for Werribee. Moves in, good looking kick off the boot. It is a long kick. In fact, that's a brilliant goal from out there. And Brad Mabry, he's a good player, this fellow, kicks his first for the day and brings Werribee back into the contest. 11 goals, 10-76. They trail Corio 13-6-84. Raiders bingo third quarter scoreboard, 16 and a half minutes gone.
There were certainly a couple of timely goals for Werribee, there's no doubt about that, and they might grab a little bit of enthusiasm from this. They seemed a little bit flat right up till now, and if they want to hold their spot in the ladder, they've got to keep moving here now. So Jason Festuca limped there, but I think he's the sort of bloke, put the footy in front of him, you forget about it.
This game reminds me very much of the last week's game, you know.
Yeah, it does, doesn't
Bell Post still getting away, and the Thompson side making charge. The reverse here today. Corio getting away. Ball's back in the centre. In the ruck we have Clayton. Clayton this time gets hands to ball. The change arounds come with Festuca, getting a clearance, looking for options down forward, runs his full 10, goes long back towards the goal square. Bernardo with Anderson. Bernardo has taken the mark.
Just body
show of strength there.
Body
That's all
strength,
it was. Yep. Bigger frame bloke. Takes a mark on the point of the 10-metre square. And it makes a difference getting that centre clearance, doesn't it?
It makes it getting in there quick. If a bloke like Barney, you've got to get in very, very quick, because he will use his body to push you out, and that was well done.
I've already marked this one down, unfortunately, but he won't miss from there.
He doesn't miss from there.
It wasn't a good kick, but it's a goal. And Mark Bernardo scores his first goal for the afternoon. Werribee now moved to 12 goals, 10. They trail the Corio side 13 goals, 6. We've gone now 18 minutes into the third quarter. Raiders bingo scoreboard.
Yeah, it just goes to show how important these centre clearances are, though, and you know, we can't read enough into that, because if you get that clearance, away you go.
And it coincides, Laurie, I don't know whether you've noticed, but just in the last 4 or 5 minutes, Kane Hayes hasn't been in at the centre contest. He's up on the half-forward flank, obviously resting. Festuca's taken the clearances, so it is a huge turnaround.
Yeah, well, Potter's been hanging around Festuca a fair bit too, so he's had a fair bit of the footy, but they both go, you watch them win the ball, they go different ways.
Ball back in the centre, tapped wide by, I would think, Scott then, running to by O'Toole. O'Toole goes forward, long kick, Bowman in front, well spoiled by Thwaites from behind. Bingham, David runs onto the ball, can't pick the ball up, handball picks up by Camilleri, goes to Gillam, Gillam to Cornish it is, comes wider looking for Walsh. He stops, doesn't meet the ball, comes from behind, he's still an opportunity to win the ball. Corio players run over the ball this time, goes by hand back to Chug. He looking for Roland Beck sees Gillam inside. Gillam pushes through the first tackle, gets handballs off. Walsh 1-2, Gillam's the third handball, goes to Chug. Gillam continues to run, but Chug reverses back, goes onto his right foot, short kick towards centre forward, and Camilleri pushing down the ground well has taken the mark just on the 50-metre line. Camilleri 50 metres out.
Bit crowded now down there.
Bit slow with the movement, but he's going to go long. Goes towards the goal square. Bernardo's the option. Going back with the flight, but Jed Potter. Another good mark by Jed Potter. Up but quickly by hand. Goes wide to Eldridge. Now wider again. Finds Brad Lewis, and he's playing a great game out in that centre wing. Lewis goes forward looking for Scott, comes over his head. Thwaites cleans up from behind. A quick kick forward back towards the half-forward line. Nevada Cornwall in position, and he takes the mark with pressure from behind by Chug. Nevada Cornwall goes back and a short kick into the centre of the ground. It's got the right weight on it, and Bingham picks up the ball. Goes forward by foot. Unfortunately for him, it's a poor kick, and it's directed towards David Kennedy, and he is rewarded a free kick for interference there from Gundry with not having the ball. Dave Kennedy, half-back flank, goes short, looking for Dean. Dean's presented up, just inside the centre square, comes wider this time. Not a good kick because he's put Norton under pressure, and Bingham picks up the ball. And Ricky, goes forward quickly. Bowman on a strong lead, takes the mark half forward, back towards the centre, sees Barry O'Toole and David Bingham pitching there. Handball over the top for Barry O'Toole. He looks for the ball, tackle from behind. It's fed through his legs. Bingham, David again has the ball, has time to look, switch and turn round and finds his brother. He goes quickly by foot. This time Chris Laurie's pushed down and he's taken the mark 30 metres out. Directly in front.
He's been prepared to take chances most of the day, hasn't he? Running off half back, and he's creating something for the blokes kicking into the 50.
He's not the most stylish looking footballer, but he's effective.
He's up to kick number 10, so seen him play last couple of weeks as well.
Been good. Well. Been good. I think I gave him votes out here last game. Chris Laurie, 30 metres out, directly in front. Corio just to ease some of that pressure they've got. It's a kick on the road. It's coming across and it's good enough. I think the umpire says yes, that is good enough. Oh. And Chris Laurie for the Corio side scores his first goal for the afternoon and 14th for the Corio side. They now move to 14 goals 6. They lead Corio, the Werribee side 12 goals 10. 21 and a half minutes gone, third quarter Raiders bingo scoreboard.
It's a good sign, Laurie. Corio prepared to meet the challenge. Like Werribee kick a couple, Corio come back at them.
Well, you would think a side that's not going to play in the finals would throw it in, wouldn't you, when they came back at you like that? But they're going to fight this game right out. It's an important game for these three boys with milestones, so they're going to have some incentive coming home in this last quarter.
So 21 and a half minutes gone, third quarter, as the ball goes up again. This time Clayton gets the tap down. Barry O'Toole, a free kick kicking in danger. Having trouble picking the ball up, and the Werribee people the players have done the right thing by him. Goes out wide to Hayes. Handball quickly to Cornwall, who's going past. He has a bounce. Goes forward to, it was Ford, can't take the mark. It's over his head and off his fingertips. It is out of bounds. But it is half forward flank for Corio, going to the northern end in this third quarter. They've got an 8-point lead at the present time. We've been going 22 and a half minutes in this third quarter. And that's probably 2 or 3 minutes added on to that for a stretcher in the quarter. Ball thrown in, pretty short. Ball comes to Hayes, overruns the football, and it's a repeat performance as the ball will be thrown in once again. Pretty vocal crowd.
I think there's a bit of banter between the coaching boxes here.
So it is interesting at the moment as the ball. What's happened here? I'm just waiting on the boundary umpire. He's got the footy. Now he'll bring it. No, what's happened? The umpire's somebody on the ground that shouldn't be. I think it's a trainer, surely. Has some entitlement to be on the ground, doesn't he, a trainer?
I think so.
The ball now thrown in. Again, a short throw in. It's come forward, and Werribee. Handball goes to Thwaites from Gillum to the centre of the ground, and Clayton claimed the mark, not given. He's tackled, gets a handball to Jewell. Cornwall does well, gets a handball to Cullen. Cullen now towards the half-forward line. Up high was David Bingham, can't take the mark. Now it's a contested ball. Bingham has it in his arms, but he's got two fellas hanging off him, and the umpire said no prior opportunity. And at the 24-minute mark of the third quarter, the ball 40 metres from the Corio goal goes up into the air, comes to ground. Ricky Bingham, handball to a teammate there, follows up again. He can't get hold of the footy. Oh, it's almost rugby style at the moment as Thwaites for Werribee gets the ball out, but only as far as a diving mark from Scott. The two big fellas did well there. They both dived forward. Handball over to Cullen. Handball to Eldridge, who's running through from the half-back line, looking for Davey Bingham in the full forward position. Can't take the mark, but gets a handball back to Wade, over the top to Ford. comes back to Hayes. What can he do? He's tackled immediately. The Werribee defence playing with a bit more urgency in this third quarter. But again, it's back to Ford. He chips it forward. Bowman eases his opponent out of the way. And Dave Kennedy just soccers the ball toward the boundary, finds the safety, and it's out of bounds. Deep in the forward line for Corio. 25 minutes gone, third quarter. 890 Corio, 82 Werribee Centrals.
Gee, and Andy Williams in this Corio side today would be handy, wouldn't it?
Ooh, yeah.
Gee. Ball's brought back into play, and over the top, Bingham takes the ball out of the play and tries to snap round the corner, but it's gone through behind, and that's Ricky Bingham. It's a good bit of play, and they now move to 14 goals 7. They lead Werribee 12 goals 10. 25 minutes gone, so again, another important 5 minutes of football for both sides here. Another goal to Corio would have them with a good break heading into the last quarter. Quick play by Kennedy, comes in from the full-back position, finds Roland Beck.
He's limping
short,
too.
20-metre kick. He
right,
goes wide and goes back to Kennedy Dave. Push to the back pocket. Another one over the top, this time towards Chris Gillum. Attempted spoil by Bingham's not effective, but Gillum plays on now. Goes short, sees Festuca in the middle of the ground. He runs his 5 or 10 metres, then kicks the ball long, but pushing back Mabry's just found a hole for himself. Unfortunately, got back behind Eldridge. And Brad Mabry
You think that was a bit of experience,
25 metres out. Read that very well, Laurie. And on his last kick, I would say that this is a fairly big chance of being a goal. 25 metres out, he's directly in front. Going back to the 50-metre line, though.
Well,
Brad Mabry.
The last one went 50 plus
Yeah,
from the boundary.
He's a typical left footer, though. He usually strikes it pretty good.
Brad Mabry on the left boot. That's a nice-looking kick off the boot, and that's
no
straight
different.
through the centre. Brad Mabry's second goal for the afternoon. And Werribee Central now move to 13 goals 10. And the Corio side 14 goals 7. 26 and a half minutes gone. Third quarter.
Well, the pressure's back on Corio again, Eric. We'll see what they can do from this centre clearance, because they've been nearly pretty well amped to answer every challenge where he's stuck at them so far. Festuca, at this point at times, had 21 kicks.
Ball's back in the centre of the ground.
Potter has had 21 kicks.
Yeah.
Scott and Clayton again. Nil effect there, but Barry O'Toole coming through the centre of the ground goes forward quickly. And again, Troy Gundry playing in front of Kennedy. Takes the mark on his chest. Swings around, goes deep and wide to Bowman in the pocket. Can't hold the ball. But a free kick's been awarded. I'm not too sure what that was for then, because he was actually behind the player.
Well,
so
that would have been my impression too, Dale. I agree with you.
I'm not too sure. But anyway, the umpire says that's good enough. He's going to have a free kick here. A couple of Corio boys just look like they're lacking a bit of touch. Like guys like that have been good ball players, both him and Barry O'Toole, just not quite handling the ball like they usually do. But Michael Bowman comes in. Kick off the boot. Umpire is gone across and says it's one behind.
Off or Tom.
Crio's 8th behind. They move now to 14 goals 8. They still lead the Werribee side 13 goals 10. Ball from Kennedy comes back quickly. Finds Antonello outside the 50-metre zone. Antonello looking short, doesn't go there. Now goes back towards the centre of the ground. Sees Thwaites. Over the top is Gundry. Probably playing interfered there with Thwaites, but he now moves forward and runs through the centre of the ground, goes wide, finds Welsh. Again, the kick just over the top. The players running backwards towards goal.
Was a well-weighted tip.
Matt Welsh, he's in range here.
Just some signs to me. Corio have stopped running. Agree or not?
Well, it could be a fitness thing, Eric. Who knows? You know, I don't see the Hayeses and Lewis as just so much leg speed at the moment. I think you might be right, but saying that, this is an important kick.
Matt Welsh comes in, walks across the 50-metre zone. Will kick from 45, probably 40 metres out. Kicks on the way. Umpire moves across.
That's shabby.
I think that's gone well wide, and that's another behind to Matt Welsh. That's his third point for the afternoon, and Werribee moved to 13-11, trailing Corio 14 goals 8.
So back in the goal square, 29 minutes gone in the third quarter, and just holding sway by 4 points. The Corio side's Barry O'Toole. It's a dangerous kick in, and Norton read it so well. Or never ever going to mark that Kane Hayes, I wouldn't have thought, with a fellow taller than him, and a dangerous kick. The opportunity for Werribee Centrals to get into the lead for the first time for a long time in this game. So Norton, who Laurie was a little surprised didn't start on the ground, I guess I agree with him, but he's moved in. It's not a bad looking kick, won't quite get the distance. Big pack there. Ball punched wide by the Corio defence. In fact, over the boundary line, 5 metres from the behind post. 29.5 minutes gone in the quarter. Bearing in mind we had 2 or 3 minutes stoppage for the stretcher, so a little while to go yet in the quarter. 13:11.89 Werribee. They trail Corio 14:8.92 as the ball comes in. The ball. Now what's happened here? There's a whistle. Is it a Werribee kick or a Corio kick? Because the ball actually went through the goal.
I think it's a Werribee kick, Eric.
So Jason Festuca has kicked the goal, but umpire not prepared to acknowledge, in fact not even asking. So the free kick in the ruck contest has gone to Mark Bernardo. So you would like to hope for Werribee's sake that the same result will apply here. Mark Bernardo has one to his name already. He's been playing at full forward, and full forward's Laurie from 20 metres out. You expect him to kick the goal.
Well, we've seen him over the years kick some good goals, Eric, and I don't think that's any exception.
I think the goal umpire's pretty happy with that. Mark Bernardo is certainly his second goal, and for the first time in a long time, it has given the Werribee Central side the lead. 14:11.95. They lead Corio 14:8.92. Raiders bingo 30. A third quarter scoreboard, 31 minutes gone.
Yeah, well, this will probably drag us back a bit in time, Eric. We thought we'd be nearly home by now, but that injury to Justin Johns has slowed everything down a little bit. But that was an important goal. It's put Werribee in front, and we'll just see what sort of momentum they've got now to progress forward. But Corio have done pretty well. They'd be a shame to drop off right now.
But the momentum seems to have turned in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Dale, would you agree with that?
Yeah, look, they've done this in the recent last couple of quarters. They've always got the last couple of goals in each quarter. So
and some of their kicking, Dale, have been long and precise and hit the targets, and that's what a good side's got to do. And set some of those players up, like Maybury and that. They know where to sit themselves if you can kick it properly to them.
Ball back in the centre. It's thrown up. Clayton and Scott going forward. It's taken down by Clayton. It's picked up by Festuca, working hard, but so is Scott. Kept wide by Dean. Picked up by Lewis to drive the ball forward for Corio. Coming out is Antonello. Picks the ball up, then drops it. This time Barry O'Toole comes through. Handballs with his left hand over the top. Doesn't find anybody. Ford picks up the ball from a spillage and goes wide from 20 metres out, just about, I would think, and misses everything.
Missed by 20.
Yes, it's a wide kick. A great opportunity there for the Corio side, but they have the ball deep in attack. Wouldn't be much time left to go. 32 minutes gone. Third quarter sees Werribee Central's leading by 1 point at this stage. Ball deep into a Corio's attack though. In ruck we've got Thwaites and Bingham. Ricky Bingham over the top. Takes the ball forward. A quick kick forward this time by Davey Bingham.
Oh, no, tell me that. You can't
Davey
do that.
Bingham has kicked the goal.
You can't do that.
And Davey Bingham's having a day out today. That's his fifth of the afternoon.
Impossible.
Corio's 15th goal. 15 goals, 8. They again take the lead from Werribee, 14 goals, 11. And we've travelled 33 minutes nearly.
Well, Davey Bingham's had 13 kicks, 3 handballs and kicked 5 goals, so that's not a bad afternoon's work.
He had a brilliant third quarter.
Yes, he certainly has. 4 goals in the third quarter, or 3.
Gee whiz. So back in the middle, umpire to get it underway again. Late in this third quarter, as he moves to the circle. Ball goes up again, and Scott tapped down for Corio. Lovely secondary tap to Cullen. Over to Barry O'Toole. Barry O'Toole looking for David Bingham. Unfortunately, Roland Beck read it well and cut across the lead there of Bingham. Now he's found Festuca on centre wing. He's taken the mark. What can he do with it? He's got Antonello screaming for it in the middle of the ground. Decides to go down the corridor. Mark or Scott really needed to take that mark, but he's helped out by Laurie. Gets a handball out, but Chug does well. Takes the ball for the Werribee side, almost to Mark Maybury. Umpire, well, perhaps the potential for a throw there, but umpire said no, and in the meantime, picked up by Jason Festuca on centre wing, goes strongly towards the half-forward flank, and Maybury again. He's had a very good third quarter as well. He's taken a strong mark on, well, almost forward pocket. 25 metres from goal, 45-degree angle, wrong side for a left footer, but the opportunity, I think, already 2 for the quarter, and an opportunity for him to kick goal number 3. So 1 at each end, with Davey Bingham doing well, and the umpire
50, I think.
Not quite sure who's saying what down
Nevada,
there.
I think.
Someone has, I don't know whether he did or somebody else did, but surely players must get the message somewhere along the way. And that's very poor discipline. If somebody's opened their mouth, regardless of who it might be.
I must admit, I don't know where Dale thinks, and I don't know how you think, Eric, but if I was back in the old coaching days, I wouldn't be really happy.
Oh, I'd be a long way from happy as Mabry now just strolls in and able to comfortably kick his third goal for the quarter and regain the lead for Werribee Centrals. 15-11-101, 15-8-98 for Corio. Raiders bingo, third quarter scoreboard, 35 minutes gone. And we've had about 13 goals for the quarter, so maybe a minute or two to go yet, particularly with that stoppage.
Well, I don't think you can say anything yet. Even if you've said to the umpire, well done, umpire, you've done a good job. I think he'll still give you another 50 because you've spoken to him.
I know if that was my players when I was coaching, they'd be sitting over here with me at the moment.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
You don't need it.
They did it last week, and it's going to cost them again today, by the looks of it. Back in the centre of the ground. Still playing in this third quarter. Scott wins the ball, but it's tapped backwards towards Gillum. He's tackled by Hayes. Picks the ball up again, but gets a quick kick forward. Mabry runs onto the ball. Good handball. Goes wide. Sees Chug. Chug's got time to come back on his right foot and go goalward.
He's kicked
and
it,
that's another goal to the Werribee side. Brendan Chug, his fourth goal now for the afternoon. And they move to 16 goals 11. To Corio 15 goals 8, and we've gone 35, nearly 36 minutes in the third quarter here. Raiders bingo scoreboard.
Laurie, for the second quarter in a row, it's the all-important goals in time on.
Yeah, it was, Eric, and it was good work again by Mabry. Put his body in there, worked it forward, nice handball out there, finish up linking up with Brendan Chug, and he doesn't miss those sort of goals, Brendan Chug. I think he's got 4 for the day as well, hasn't he?
So, exactly right. So, the signs probably looking a little ominous for Corio in my view at the present moment.
Well, Lewis is back on. He's had a bit of a rest, so the engines will be charged up and the batteries will be fired up, and we'll see what he can do again. He's had a great day up till now. He's had 16 kicks.
So we've ticked past 36 and a half minutes in the quarter as the umpire moves to the circle once again, and we'll get the game underway as the ball goes up in the air. Scott and Clayton, 50-50 on that occasion. Lewis, the man you've just mentioned, Laurie, gets the centre clearance, kicks it towards half forward. Mick Kennedy does well, attacks the footy. He's ahead of Bowman. Bowman does put a good tackle on. No prior opportunity, said the umpire, and a little bit of toing and froing in the middle there as the umpire moves in, takes the footy, puts it in the air. This time Clayton down to Festuca, immediately tackled by Potter and Scott. And umpire again, no prior opportunity. 37 minutes gone in the quarter. And we're just forward of centre for Corio. This time tapped down to Ricky Bigham. Off a step, long towards full forward. Davey Bigham, well spoiled on that occasion. Coming in strongly was Lewis. Can't pick the footy up, however. Thwaites, he can't either. All thrown out by Antonello. Umpire agreed. And maybe that's 50 now because whistle blew, and no, the umpire's going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Barry O'Toole's going to take this kick. I think it could have been Kane Hayes, but
yes, Barry finds himself in the right place at the right time most
take the responsibility,
doesn't he? So short kick to Davey Bingham. Lovely lead there from Bingham, back playing full forward from the square, and why wouldn't he? He's kicked 5 goals. The opportunity here for goal number 6. And a very important goal would be for Corio, as I don't know where he's gone there, across the ground, and he's done a terrific job since he's come back on the ground, Lewis. And David Bigham, not confident in his ability to kick the goal. It is Matt Wade, yes, you're right, good call. And this young fellow in junior football kicks a lot of goals, so let's hope he's got the right boot on in the seniors this afternoon. 38 and a half minutes gone as Matt Wade lines up for this kick for Corio. Moves in, lovely looking kick off the boot. He has kicked his first goal for the day, and a very important goal for Corio. 16 goals 8, 104. They trail Werribee Central 16-11-107. Raiders bingo, third quarter scoreboard, now 39 minutes.
I reckon Cogsy might be the box over there.
Oh dear.
Yes. Yeah, I think you got a bit of time on for injury, but I don't think it was this much.
No.
Never mind.
Well, the umpires are going to miss out on their night out now.
Yeah.
We're back to square one.
Ball back in the centre of the ground. Umpire will get to start play again. Just over 39 minutes gone. Ball in the air, tapped down by Scott. O'Toole runs onto the ball. Doesn't quite pick it up, but Cunningham does. Picks the ball up, gets a 1-2 with Dean. Comes back to Cunningham. Goes by left foot with the siren sounding.
Oh.
Which was probably just as well, because Brendan Chugg had taken a mark inside 50 metres.
So there we are, three-quarter time in our match of the day. I'm just looking at Chris Clonan walking off the bench. He looks to have a bit of a limp as well. But at three-quarter time, Corio 16 goals 8, 104. Trail Werribee Central 16 goals 11, 107. Goal kickers to three-quarter time for Corio. Bigham David has 5. Paul Asikas has 2, and Michael Bowman has 2, and 1 each to Potter, Hayes, Gundry, Wade, Harrison, Laurie and Cullen. For the visitors, Werribee Centrals, 4 to Brendan Chugg, 3 to Brad Mabry, 2 to John Antonello, 2 to Mark Bernardo, and 1 each to Welsh, Gillam, Vastuka,